Hey guys, welcome back to Electrical Car Repair Live. Thank you guys for watching and subscribing to the channel. Today will be super helpful video guys to any of you having a Hyundai Tucson guys, any generation, any year, and your coolant temperature gauge does not work. We will explain guys the top 5 things that can cause that. Make sure to stay until the end and we will explain what can easily cause that. Now we're demonstrating on a 2.4 GDI engine, but even if you have a different engine, the procedure may be the same, and we'll cover helpful information that will teach you to go in the right direction to diagnose your coolant temperature sensor gauge and why it's not working. Before we start, let me tell you a little bit about us guys. Every single car we get at the garage, we try to take them completely apart and make at least 200 to 300 free repair videos. Why we do that? Simply because our mission in the shop is to save you as much money as we can. All we need guys in return, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, that way we can keep providing this free information to you. Now, if you guys need to buy any parts, tools for a really good price and quick shipping as well, check out the link in the description of the video below and you can see where we get all our tools and parts from. So specifically this right here is a 2.4 GDI engine that we'll be demonstrating on. So that's the engine guys, okay, and if your coolant temperature gauge does not work, okay, things to check. Number one, what the engine uses, okay, to see the temperature guys, okay, the engine computer. You have one sensor that's known as coolant temperature sensor. Pretty simple, right? In most cases installed on the thermostat housing. Things to check: if the wiring harness is plugged in all the way. If it's loose or unplugged guys, that can actually cause, okay, the gauge not to work because you lose communication with the computer. Number two, inspect the wire. If the wire is broken, okay, or in some cases even eaten by rodents, okay, mice, like that in the winter time, they try to find a warm place in the engine bay and they chew on wires. We've seen that happen, okay, it can quit working. Also make sure that the wire has good communication, okay. If you checked everything else and you still have problem, check the wires all the way to the engine computer, okay, and test them to see that they're good. Now, number 3, it could be bad coolant temperature sensor. If that's the case, we have a special video guys on our channel that explains, okay, how to replace coolant temperature sensor on Hyundai Tucson, and also we have a special video on our main YouTube channel, How to Repair guys, that explains how to test coolant temperature sensor in a few minutes and find out if it's working or not. If that sensor is not working, what will happen? Actually your coolant temperature gauge will not work because the engine computer will not receive any information about guys, okay, about the temperature of the coolant, and as a result your gauge will not work. Now that's number 3. Number 4, it could be actually guys the gauge itself, but we don't see that very often. We don't see that very often because then you will need to replace the gauges. We had it only on one vehicle and it wasn't Hyundai, to where it was the gauge itself that quit working. And number 5, it's something that we don't see quite often as well, okay, having problems with the engine computer and needing rebuilt or replaced. But the top 3 things: check the wiring harness, make sure it's plugged in, and most likely bad coolant temperature sensor. Hopefully the video will be helpful. Thank you for watching and see you guys next time.